We go in here. Oh my god, I totally didn't expect that. Uh-oh. That sound means we just got invaded. Who knows, he may not actually be over-leveled. As you'll see, way more powerful than me. And hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. In the last episode, we got to the Taurus Demon. In this episode, there's a couple things that I forgot to do. Well, not forgot to do. There's one thing I forgot to do, and one thing we've got to quickly do before we carry on with the episode. So I'm quickly going to rush over. You'll probably know, if you were paying a lot of attention last episode, what I did wrong. But as we come down here to where the Black Knight was, I haven't even rested at the bonfire yet, which is why all the enemies are still dead. There is an item we forgot to get. Well, I forgot to get. You didn't do anything. Don't worry. It's not your fault, it's my fault. The blue Tearstone ring. And now, while we're walking back, I'll quickly go through this. The rare gem called Tearstone has an uncanny ability to sense imminent death, and I need to walk up the stairs. This blue Tearstone from Katarina boosts the defense of its wearer when in danger. Essentially, when you are low on health, your defense goes up 300%, I think? I think it's a percentage-based thing in this game. But, so that's really useful if you don't want to die. Obviously, it's more useful the more defense you have, and the more life you have. But it's not a bad ring to have when you've got no better ones, because it does save you a lot of pain. Yes, we're also going to want to come down here, because there's a few things we want to buy from the lovely man at the shop. And yes, I do know there's an enemy behind me. But we're going to ignore him. There we go. And bam. A bit dumb. Opening your back up to me. Yeah, I sure have to get into the swing of things of doing this commentary again. Because it is kind of hard to concentrate while fighting. But I've got to get used to that. Otherwise this Let's Play is not going to be very good. Yes, we're going to want to come over here. Quickly murder this man. And now we're going to want to come in here. Because there is something we want to get. Now, there are multiple ways to get the thing we want to get, but for our purposes, it's best to do it like this. Get a bow, get cheap as balls arrows, and then get like 150. Not that much, actually, why not? 200 and something. You don't need like half as much as that, but I'm just being sure, because we're going to need some arrows. Because I'm doing something that we're going to do. I'm really messing up my words here. There's something we've got to do, and I'm going to do it the cowardly way. But first off, there's something we should do. Is level up. Now that we've got all the stuff over there done, we can sit at the bonfire nice and safe. And we are going to level up. Endurance, as I said, we're going to level up till we get to 20 in that. And now I've got to think, which is always hard. Got to remember what other weapons I was going to use this playthrough. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting any other ones for a while, so I think it's safe to just up vitality a bit. And I'll up it like once. More endurance. No harm in that. Yeah, that's good. We soared in that regard. Slightly more health and a lot more endurance. It's all good. Now, why we want these arrows will become apparent soon enough. As you remember in the previous episode, our lovely friend the dragon up here didn't want us sitting on his lovely bridge. And now, make no mistake, you can kill him here and now in this part of the game. Also, that's a decent way to make souls really early in the game if you want to grind. I personally don't. Oh, not doing much damage here. So just do this. And murder this man. Now we're gonna come over here, and there's one of the most. Well, I forgot they have that attack. That's a rarely used attack, to be honest. Oh wow, I'm making a mess of this. Yeah, this is one of the more. Oh, I never have them do that attack normally. Yeah, he's not too hard to beat. I'm just making a mess of it. Yeah, it's quite a meanly placed enemy. But as you come over here, we'll see his tail dangling. And what you want to do is equip... Well, we got so many straight swords, I need to put those in the box that I bought. I bought that for a reason. Oops, that's bolts. Arrows. And we're going to want to just shoot this for a really long time. And this will take a long time. Because he's going to keep moving back and forth between the 2 points. So I'm just going to cut it until, well, we've got what we want. So see you in a bit. And with that, we have the Drake Sword. Quite a weapon that's quite famous, if I'm honest, in this game, for being the noob weapon, for lack of a better term. It's basically an extremely good weapon at the start of the game, because look at that base damage. 200 base damage compared to like the S stock. The reason for this is it's a dragon weapon, which are weapons you get, or tail cut weapons, which are weapons you get from knocking the tails of certain enemies or bosses, and they're upgraded uniquely, but the most unique thing about them is that they have no scaling whatsoever. So you may be thinking as to why this weapon isn't a good choice for a new player, even though it's got insane damage and some really good useful stuff, like actual defense bonuses on it and a special attack that does this. Well, the main reason is just that it's a crutch, and that new players should have to learn the game properly rather than have a weapon that one-shots everything. And two, because as you go through the game, the weapon becomes way worse because it doesn't have scaling, and it's hard to get the upgrade materials early in the game. So in general, not good choice if it's your first time through this game. And now come to a enemy that is quite an annoyance to anyone who's new to the game. These rats can poison you in a couple hits. Yep, and speaking of that, I just did get poisoned. Unfortunately, this weapon is not the best for dealing with them. Oh well, now I have to deal with the fact that I'm poisoned. No biggie though. It does last a long time. I'll probably slowly sap away all my Estus. But I can deal with it. Although, whether or not I can deal with this is a whole other matter. There's a familiar face up here. And he is actually way more dangerous than the one we met earlier in the game. As you see. Yeah. I might not bother with him. And, well, he's not that bad. We'll have to see. I'll cut it until I get back there. And easily enough, we made it back. This time not poisoned, so I might just try and fight him. He can be a bit of a pain in the butt, especially this early in the game. Oh, luckily that attack doesn't one-shot you. Yeah, that attack is one you don't want to deal with. The problem is because he's wielding the Black Knight Greatsword, he has an insane amount of damage that he can do. Luckily his attacks also leave him way more open, so it's a bit easier to deal with him. Again, I'm not going to risk parry him. I used to know the parry timings for all these guys pretty well. Oh, jeez. Oh, well that was lucky. That was not lucky. I'm going to take the coward's way out here. Quickly back off. Unfortunately, I think sometimes he chases you down here. Yeah. Oh, God. We're panicking now. We're going to quickly want to deal with this guy. Because the Black Knight will probably follow us down here. Yeah, maybe not. He's probably just sitting on that stairwell, though. I've realised I'm barely talking, but I am trying to not die from this guy multiple times. Because he is one of the more dangerous enemies of this part of the game. Yeah, just walk. You keep walking around that attack. Normally you want to walk towards your enemy's shield side, because normally they turn slower in that direction. Not to mention the weapon's hitbox is obviously on their other side. So it's way easier to avoid them. And with that, he's dead. And we don't get his weapon either, unfortunately. Like I said, they do drop hit on occasion. But we're not so lucky. And with that, I've taken way longer to do all this than I should have. So I better actually get moving and make some progress here. Progress. I always get that mixed up. Yes, go around here, stab this guy. These guys will come down to greet you. Oops. I messed that up, didn't I? Just gonna block him. Heal. Oh god, yeah. Don't forget that armoured pig enemy. He'll make your life a living hell if you let him. So I'm just gonna ignore him. Stupid pig can't get in here, luckily. Now this part can be annoying, so you've got two crossbowmen over there and the shield guy, so you kind of want to try and lure the shield guy over here. Alternatively, I used up all my firebombs trying to get the Drake Sword, just so you know. You can just do that. The hollow shields have really bad resistance against fire. A better way to deal with these guys is to run around them like this and kill this one first, because once you go near him, this guy will get out of his sword, and then he won't shoot crossbow bolts at you. But if you try and kill him first, the second one will just be sitting behind him shooting crossbows at you, which is no fun. Also, that guy's a bit of a knob end. Look at him. Walking into the butt of the pig. Now, there are multiple ways to deal with this pig. And also, I'm just going to... You can throw firebombs at him. You can go down there like a man, dodge out of the way, and stab your sword right into his slightly unarmoured butt. Yeah, I'm not even kidding you. Stab him right in the butt. He's got, like, no armour there. Or, some way that this game actually hints at is you use these things, which we just picked up, called Alluring Skulls, which lure enemies, hollowed enemies specifically. But if you throw, if I can do this right, one into the fire, I think he's supposed to, yep. He'll actually go dance around in the fire. And you just throw a couple of these in there. And we just throw another one. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we're doing this the hard way. Yep, see, look at that. So much damage. Just so you know, the whole rest of his body is armoured, and therefore you'll do, like, no damage to him. If you actually try and hit him there. I should have really shown that, but hindsight and all that. But yeah, that's also a non-respawning enemy, which also drops a piece of armour, just so you know. He drops, like, his helmet, which is kind of weird. It's obviously slightly smaller. Oh, hello. Yeah, these guys kind of... Yeah, these are like the weakest forms of hollows in the game. But they also are dangerous in numbers, and there's a lot of them here, so we're going to have to be careful. I've already used up a lot of Estus. Oh, all enemies in this game are dangerous in numbers, so you've got to be aware of that. So trying to one-on-one them. Like, when I got poisoned by the rats, it's because I tried to jump in there and fight more than one at once, whereas when I went through it again, I just let them come at me single file, and it was way easier. That's what you want to do in this game, is try and get inside one enemy's aggro range, but avoid the other one, so that you're only fighting one at a time, because this combat system in this game thrives on one-on-one encounters, but becomes difficult when you do more than one enemy at a time. And we got the mystery key. Purpose of this key is unknown. Appears to be a basic prison cell. So we'll find out what the use for that is later. I'm relatively sure that you can get what the mystery key provides with the what's his name? The bastard key? I might be wrong. Oh, I didn't mean to fall there, weirdly enough. I just need to go back up. But yeah, I'll put it up if I'm wrong about that, because I may be. There are a few things that the master key does not unlock, which are optional. There's like a couple. But for the most part, it doesn't unlock anything, like, required. obviously, because that'd be a bit broken. Broken. Yeah, so we just want to go over there. Not fall down again. And we're nearly through this area, and I think I'll end it off in a bit. My timer says like 20 minutes, but I had to cut a lot of this, like getting the Drake Sword took a while, and having to die and then come back, and I should probably lay off on the dying in future. But yeah, I'll get to a bonfire, and then I'll probably leave it off. I want to slowly walk over here to this man. Wait for him to flinch. Because that means he's seen us. Yeah, and these guys have a lot more health and are a lot more dangerous than other hollow soldiers. As you see. Annoyingly enough, they can est us. Also, they can parry you as well. Be aware of that. I'm going to try and show it because he'll sometimes enter a stance where he'll parry you. These ones specifically with the rapiers. Try to get a cheeky backstab in there. Oh yeah, these guys do a lot of damage. These are quite a dangerous enemy. Called Boulder Knights. And I'm letting the camera mess me up here. There we go. Figured I'd just stop wasting time trying to do meager damage with this thing. I don't think piercing weapons do a lot of damage to these guys, unfortunately. So I picked a bad starting weapon. To be fair, for the most part, hollows get dealt with quickly well by slashing weapons. And ones that are heavily armoured get dealt with well by strike weapons, like maces or something. Oh, and that's actually the Bell of Awakening going off right now. And that bell going off means that someone actually, in real life, actually rung it, which is actually a really cool feature. You can actually hear other players ringing the bell, which is cool little stuff like that in this game. And we're going to want to poke our head out and run back because there's an enemy either side. We don't want to fight them both with our backs against the wall. Yeah, these guys, as you see, they're Boulder Knights that wield a different set of weapons. They have the Boulder Shield instead of like the small shield, and the Boulder Side Sword, which is a rather rare weapon to get. Oh, they also have less health, I guess. But hopefully I'll get one of them in this playthrough because they're really good, and I might even use it. Yeah. Definitely the best way of dealing with these spear hollows is to attack them so they're baited into attacking you, then like parrying them or attacking them before they can get you. Yes, just so I'm not messing everything up in case I die in the next like few minutes, I'm going to come down here. Because... Oh god. I'm actually scared right now that I'm going to die here after saying that. Oh god, I did nearly die. That's quite embarrassing. Coming down here we get the basement key, which is going to be useful for later. God, if I'd died right there, that would have been a pain. Great Bridge in the Undead Burg. So do you remember that locked door just after the Taurus Demon? That unlocks that, basically. But yeah, so you'll pull this lever, and it opens this door, which is a shortcut. So that's why I didn't want to die there, because goodness me. At the very least, I want to open that shortcut. And we got this halberd, which is a weapon, obviously. It's the basic weapon of the halberd type, and it's basically just a fusion between, like, a spear and, like, an axe, I guess. It has some thrusting attacks and some slashing attacks. It's actually a pretty good weapon early on, but there's a lot of different halberds that are actually slightly better than that one. Some of the most overpowered weapons in the game are halberds. And as you'll see, there's a crossbowman over there, so we're going to want to avoid his line of sight and kill these guys over here. Oh, also, where did this Boulder Knight come from? He must have come from inside the church. Oh, well, it looks like I've got to run. This is going to get painful. I might just die. Yeah, that crossbowman has impeccable aim. I'm going to try and lure the Boulder Knight over here. Unfortunately, the other hollow is in tow. Yeah, let's take a look. Was the actual other Boulder Knight? Yeah, there's a Bold Knight normally right by that door, so he probably was originally there. Oh dear. This is going to get bad. I've managed to mess this up big time. As I said, it's better to fight enemies one-on-one in this game. I'm being a bit of a turtle right now. These guys are unfortunately not being particularly aggressive. Oh, he left himself wide open. That's lucky for me. And I could have probably got a backstab on him as well. And there we go. Just gotta be patient in this game. The combat requires it. Unfortunately, he didn't drop anything. That would have been nice. Be a pain to die with this many souls, with this much humanity, with one Estus left, right near the bonfire, but these things can happen. You've got to be willing to accept these deaths if you make mistakes. Like, I walked too close to that door, and as a result, I nearly died. There's a player ghost over there. And there's, oh, one more humanity for me. Lovely. Now, we finally got to where I wanted to go. With great relief to me. So I'm going to go sit at the bonfire, and then we'll end this off. And the next episode, we'll find out who's making that incessant noise down below. Yes. As I said, join us in the next episode, where we'll be exploring the church and seeing who's making that noise down there. And even maybe going over there. But yes, until then, see ya.